Welcome to the Nausea River podcast. I'm Theo Morgan, and if you listen to us on any platform but YouTube, then your life is unchanged. But my dear YouTube audience, arguably my biggest, finally gets a quality of life change that people have been asking about since episode number one. This might be the first time you've seen my face in motion. Won't be the last because I've already made too many promises to future guests. Plus, well, it's a good boost to viewership in a lot of ways. What's the deal for tonight? For everyone. This is an interview with Impetigore.
So we're in Impetigore. We're from kind of all over, but we say we're from Boston because we practice in Boston. That's kind of where we converge. Where we say that we're a sludge band, but we're getting really weird with it now. So we'll see how long that kind of lasts. But we're really excited to be here. We just dropped an EP. What was it, like 2 weeks ago now?
I think just about, yeah.
Yeah. We recorded that in our practice space in Charlestown. Jason Tucker mixed and mastered it. Came out pretty good. It's our first endeavor as a band. I haven't been in a band in a long time. So it's been really, really exciting.
Yeah. And then Adam's our bassist. My name's Gabe.
Oh, yeah.
And then I play, I guess you would call it rhythm guitar. I feel like that's kind of the best way to describe my role in the band. And I joined towards the end of last year. The band was functioning a little bit before I joined, but yeah.
Gabe brought us to a whole new level, though.
Thank you.
They really did.
Yeah.
I am Aidan. I play, I guess, the equivalent of lead guitar. I play guitar and make noises. I make ugly noises. And joined it like right around like when it started, like what was that, like fall last year?
Meet Adam, Gabe, and Aidan from Impetigore. They're a noisy sludge metal band that reached out to me for an interview, which I'm thankful for. I like a little push in the right direction. They were all complete strangers to me, but a lot of this show is trying to charm answers out of strangers. Plus, they ended up being delightful and instant new friends. I hope you agree.
Like around like
Yeah.
October or so?
Yeah, I mean, you were part of most of the songwriting, if not all. I think the only song on the EP that you didn't have, like, I mean, no, you wrote your leads for Human Animal, but like, you had a huge part in like writing the arrangement for basically everything except Human Animal, and then you wrote your leads for Human Animal.
Yeah,
So
I wrote like the stop parts, and I feel like
yeah,
probably more minimal stuff with Virtue, but
yeah, no, it's great.
no.
Cool. You attempted to describe your sound as sludge metal, but was really interested in buying your and checking out your EP. How would you describe yourselves?
I think every band dreads this question.
Yeah.
I certainly do. Um, Weird, funky, noisy, sludgy, with samples.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No. I think that might cover it all, but I'll leave the floor to the other folks if they want to add anything. At this point, we're kind of just doing whatever we want with it, which is really liberating. When we first started, I really just wanted to be kind of like Godflesh worship and just like stay in a very specific box, and then folks just kept kind of pulling me out of that box, and I slowly stopped resisting. And now I'm pretty happy with where we're at in terms of.
Yeah, because like I always when I describe it to like when I described like, oh, I joined this band like to like my like friends and family, like I use like noisy, sludgy for sure, but like we have certain sections like in certain songs that like I don't know, like completely go outside that box. I don't know, like because like we all come from different backgrounds, like musically, I feel like in the
Mhm.
Yeah.
band, which is kind of fun, you know? Like I come from kind of like a like I play like a lot of like death metal, like I'm a big fan of like brutal death metal stuff. And like like Aidan plays like a lot of like fun, noisy, mathy stuff, and like Adam's definitely like I'm not to speak for you, but like definitely like the sludgy stuff. So like it all kind of just gets thrown into a blender, you know?
Yeah, I was actually wondering what all of you were doing before Impetigore because the Metal Archives didn't help me. One, I had to submit your band,
Oh,
and
thank you.
it's still
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
it's still pending as of recording this. I hope I'm wrong by the time the episode releases. Um, but I realized I had to like make artist pages for everyone except for Cypress
Yep.
Oh wow.
because of Ingrate.
I
Um,
didn't know that Cypress was on the Metal Archives. That's really cool.
yeah, I guess through Ingrate, which is it makes my job like 20% easier if there's already a page.
Totally.
Um, so I want to know where you all come from musically, like what bands you've played in, and a short description of like, you know, what you've done leading up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to start, Aiden? I feel like
Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna
you've
say.
been talking a little bit. We lead with you.
Yeah. So I guess like if you go like way back, I mean like I started mostly doing like punk. Like I played in just like punk bands like in high school that went nowhere. Adam and I played in a band like back in 2015 called Testicular Pain, and that was our like crowning achievement. We
Yeah,
played show at the Midway in JP, favorite venue, with some cool bands like Deranged Youth, which everyone should check them out. They're cool as fuck. Um, Adam and I played in a prog band, like just doing like weird, like more, I don't know how you would describe that band. That was called Exoplanet, but that was more like proggy, odd time signature stuff. Um,
that kind of ended out of nowhere, which really sucked.
that was a bummer. That was a bummer because it
Yeah,
was like, just like starting to like, build state. We were writing, we had like freaking,
we had like 6 songs that never saw the
yeah.
light of day.
I was gonna say we had about as many songs as like Impetigore has now, and they were all good.
Yeah,
Um, I didn't really do anything musically for a while, and then I played in a band called Omnia. They were around for like a decade or so, but I joined them for like the last like 2.5 years or so, and we played shows like around the state. I think they toured like before I joined them. It was like mathcore stuff, like Dillinger and like kind of like those bands were like grindcore meets mathcore, kind of like what's a Sawtooth Grin or stuff like that. Um, I play bass in that band. I don't know if I already said that. And yeah, I mean, I guess where I come from musically, I don't really listen to a lot of heavy stuff anymore, like other than like local bands, but more so like I guess it's all over the place. I like a lot of experimental stuff. Like I've been listening lately to like Henry Cow, This Heat, um, bands that like Trevor Dunn is in, like the Trio Convulsant, Mr. Bungle, stuff like that. Just, fun, silly sounding, crazy ass stuff.
Yeah, and then like I from like my background, like honestly, like Impetigore is I've been calling it essentially my first band because it kind of is. I mean, like, I like was in the beginnings of what were supposed to be bands that kind of just ended up falling apart like multiple times. Like, I was always like jamming with people, but never really like making it out of the basement, that kind of deal. Um, so for the long time, I've just kind of been like a bedroom like guitarist, bedroom player, like messing around with like electronic stuff, noise stuff. Most recently, I kind of solidified like my noise and like death metal stuff under just one umbrella, like called Stag Film, that I've been adding to like the Bandcamp just whenever I feel like it, when I crank something out. But yeah, like Impetigore is really my one and only. But it's been really fun. Like, my so my partner and Adam actually went to school together, and that's
very,
how.
very long time ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And So Adam had been following my partner on Instagram and everything, and followed me, or like had like maybe you could fill in a little bit. You kind of like were made aware of me, and then like
Yeah,
through O, where it was able to like be like, hey, you should join
I
my
was a fan.
yeah
Yeah, no, I was a fan of Stag Film, and it was always in the back of my mind where it's like I gotta play music with this person,
yeah
and I had wanted to reach out because Gabe had actually inquired about getting guest artists for Stag Film a few times, and it's like, shit, I really want to message this person, but I don't know them, so it didn't
yeah.
happen. But we had another really cool guitarist, Nick, who's in a project called Circus After Dark, and he decided this wasn't for him and stepped out. And Gabe was just about the first person I thought of, and I'm really happy everything worked out with it. Um, Instagram's stupid system to where any message from someone you don't follow went to hidden messages. So I was so desperate, I actually texted Gabe's partner. I'd be like, please tell your partner to come jam with us. We're really into their stuff. And I'm really happy I did that because it gave me an anxiety attack. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out too.
In terms of my background, I've been all over the place in terms of it. Started doing like public school orchestra and then quickly moved on to um, you know, I went to a program in my hometown of Lynn, called School of Rock Lynn. And honestly, most of my musical connections still come from School of Rock. Um, so I played in Testicular Pain with Aidan, as well as Noel Rudloff from the Salones now. He was also in the Modern Faces. And then Troy, who's in Earthlore. Both are childhood buddies of mine. Um, Played in a few bands with those guys over the years, where we would just like play slightly different styles of music and change our name. But it was always the three of us. Um, and then I ended up, I had Exoplanet, which Aidan had talked about. I ended up joining a top 40 cover band called 43 Church Street. Super talented musicians, really cool people. The manager and producer and everything is Brian Mays, who's a really talented guy and like very well known in the Lynn area. He has a lot of connections to like Brad Delp and all the Boston folks and everything. Um, but I didn't like that whole scene. Like it just wasn't for me. It wasn't anyone's fault. Um, and then I was in another instrumental band that was kind of similar to Exoplanet called Kaiju that ended up dissolving shortly after the pandemic. And then unfortunately for a while I just wasn't playing music. I didn't play music for like 3 to 4 years, I think, which really sucked. Um, and which kind of led me to start Impetigore purely out of frustration of that.
Okay, that does lead me to another question. What does Impetigore stand for? And
Uh,
also, why for, like, do you think you have like a deep reason to form this band?
so the word Impetigore, as far as I know, doesn't mean anything. I I got it from an Indonesian horror movie called Impetigore. It has another title in Indonesian that roughly translates to "Woman of the Damned Land." Awesome, awesome movie.
I gotta watch
It
that.
as far. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. As far as I know, the word Impetigore is totally made up. It means absolutely nothing. Just sounds really cool to me, and it sounds like a metal band, so I made it a metal band. Um, and I'm sorry, what was the second half of the question?
For me, what I meant by like what Impetigore stands for, like what message are you trying to send out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, where either of the guys could tell you, or any of us, that we're anti-fascism is of the utmost
Hmm.
importance to all of us. I mean, we're um, very big into environmentalism, especially Aidan and Cypress. They're always kind of not going at it, but like discussing their separate theories on environmentalism. Um,
Environmental philosophies and such during practice. Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of book trading, outside of like political views and everything, where I find that we're all really inspired by outside art. We're always talking about movies. We're always talking about different artists. Poetry's come up here and there. We've shared some short stories with one another, with everyone. So, like, I hope that answers your question.
It does. It does. Yeah,
Okay.
in terms of short stories, I never hear bands bring that up. Are there any really interesting ones that resonated with the band?
There was one. It was from a book. Oh, the short story was How to Tell a True War Story.
Okay.
And we're kind of turning that idea into a song right now, and hopefully within the next few months we'll get some shows, and we'll be able to play that very soon.
Yeah. I feel like as far as like outside art, and like influences, like yeah, we do discuss movies a lot. We do discuss like other music, and like I think we're all just fans of like media in general. Like we're all very big consumers of art, and like I recently, speaking of short
Yeah,
stories, read Ray Bradbury's Tattooed Man. Um and and like reading the Velt again for the first time since high school, with like the like essentially like the smart home, and like the room that like the kids go into, like uh and the technology turning on people is very, I feel, relevant to to what's happening currently with like AI and shit.
Hmm.
It's all
yeah.
like it's all feeling too relevant. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you know, whenever we go to shows or hang out with people, it's always like a big topic is art in general, and like I just love sharing and getting new stuff to dig my teeth into.
You say that you're a very anti-fascist band. Was there like in your personal life, was there like a breaking point where you realized shit's fucked? Or is it kind of like a feeling you've had in your heart for your whole life?
I feel like it's probably been like something that we've had like for our whole lives. I mean, I could, at least speaking for me and Adam, um, like we've always like played in the punk bands and whatnot, but I mean, things have just gotten like regressively like just fucking worse, and all it just daily life gets like a lot more heated and depressing. Um and I feel like it definitely like just seeps into the music a lot more with like a lot of like our song lyrics and whatnot, like Penance, for example, which don't have recorded yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta come to a show for that one.
One of these days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, I don't know. For me, like, see, I grew up in a military family, so like it was very much like grew up being told to feel a certain way or believe certain things, that by age like 11 or 12 I was like, this doesn't make sense to me, like this
yeah.
feels wrong. And it like I remember I remember joking only like halfway that System of a Down radicalized me. like 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 prison song and shit like that. Like I was like, whoa, they're speaking some real stuff right here. And that was like, I don't know, like music was definitely a huge turning point for me, in radicalization and also to just like being presented one school of thought and then just innately feeling like, opposed to that, it's definitely something I've held for quite a long time, but only more so like as I've gotten older and things have gotten, yeah, like Aiden said, progressively more unfortunate.
Yeah, basically what they said. Um, my grandmother, uh, who, God rest her soul, she did a really good job of kind of counteracting any propaganda that I learned in school. And whenever I would see her, tell her what I was learning in school, she was in like the peace riots and peace marches and everything in Boston and got beat up by police and everything. So she did a really good job of teaching me that part of history. But and then as Aidan said, we grew up in the punk scene. We've been exposed to this for a very long time, thankfully. And then just seeing everything that's going on right now, it confirms what you've been taught. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking back to like, what would my moment be? And I grew up like, I was like probably 8 when we invaded Iraq, and there was always something uncomfortable to me about the people who would evangelical end times meets warmongering. And I thought like, oh, that's just a maybe that will die with the Bush era. And now I'm not so sure.
Hmm.
I do actually credit
Yeah.
my mom, who is a very religious anti-war person, for making sure that my stupid kid brain didn't get poisoned by like post 9/11 patriotism and all that all that stuff. And to note there are real people, real civilians in these conflicts that we start. And like as terrible as it was back then, it's very quaint to what's happening right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
and oh, go ahead.
no, no, no. Go ahead, please.
No, I'm just and also too, I mean like I feel like there was like footage and like civilian access to like a bit of the information that was that I'm sure some would rather have had kept from the public, like there was a bit of that, but now I mean I feel like every other day I'm seeing something like just an atrocity
Hmm.
on like it's social media, you know what I mean? Like social media is crazy where it's like I mean, on one hand, it's amazing how much more visibility these things are getting, and I think that it's great for traction as far as like anti-war, anti-genocide, like um uh like everything.
Hmm.
Like movements, I think it's great that we have that level of accountability for what's being done. But also it's so messed up that it's like you access social media and it's just like funny cat video atrocity,
Hmm.
like and it's like so baked into like
I don't mean to laugh, but
no, it's so true though. Yeah, no, I get it. It's like it would be comedic if it weren't so horrific, like it's so present in our lives, and I feel like it's becoming even more you know entrenched in kind of just like what we expect from the world, which is so sad.
hmm we'll circle back to things, but obviously you released an EP a few weeks ago. One, I liked it quite a bit. I
thank
like
you.
really I like a good sludge metal moment. I like influences from noise rock and extreme metal. Your backgrounds really, I think they do really shine through with the EP, especially with Gabe, because like I was like trying to reach for bands that reminded me of, and one of them was another local sludge band, Sepsistic, who like
Mm.
have a very very brutal death metal edge to them. Great band. They haven't played live in a while. I haven't heard much news from them. I hope they return. Um, I want to know what recording the EP was like.
It was a long process. It took us, what was it, like a month and a half?
I think so. We're all perfectionists, and we were all like, we can make it better.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
It
know.
was, I mean, we recorded it in our rehearsal space, so we
Hmm.
basically had unlimited time. Eventually, we got a show, so we didn't have unlimited time, so we had to kind of wrap up the EP and then uh start preparing for the show. But like that just kind of meant more late nights for us. But it was great. I mean, we recorded it ourselves. It was my really first time recording anything outside of like bedroom demo tapes. So it was a huge challenge for me to undertake. But it, I think it came out pretty okay.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. I mean, like it's always I don't know how Aiden feels about this like tracking guitar too, but like I get like uh my my boss who's also a musician if I remember correctly he calls it uh I think it's red light syndrome where you start recording and like your whole body just kind of like goes oh and like
Yep.
malfunctions, you know.
There was a
Um,
lot of that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that.
I've actually never heard of that. And I've talked, you're my 49th episode. I've talked to a lot of musicians.
yeah, I don't know. I get real like I get all up in my head when I record. I don't know. How do you feel, Aiden?
I get like more perfectionist if I'm like say recording something myself. Like if I'm just recording and it's odd because it's like I get it with stuff that I record like in my bedroom, like just like for shits and giggles that no one will ever hear, where it's like, no, I gotta do like the 709th take. I gotta make it like perfect. But with like what we were doing like in the practice space, I think I was just a lot more like yeah, whatever. I'll just play the song like I always do. I think it probably helped that I couldn't really hear myself, like because I was like listening to like Nelly's drums and like the room recording and whatnot. And it probably helped having like a natty daddy or two, So
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Aiden's a big fan of Natty Ice, and that's
I think a big fan's a bit of an understatement. That's this guy's going for a sponsorship.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very much cheap beer music. Um, you mentioned like being perfectionists. What with a realistic estimate, not like 709, unless it's that is reality. What did you do the most takes on?
Drums.
yeah,
Drums. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. If only Nelly
Yeah.
was here.
yeah. I know. Yeah,
No, it's I think it's more of a testament to her than anything. She did not give up. It We took a break and then went right into recording. So I was asking a lot of these people. um, and it was, I mean, we would play the songs here and there just to warm up and like get comfortable with them because we had to do the room recording. Uh, but you know, it took a lot of takes and not for nothing. Like there's not a lot of empty spaces in our song with drums, and a lot of um the reason why I mean, splicing just wasn't an option at all, really, with drums. And then it was my first time recording drums, so um, a lot of those mistakes weren't on Nelly; they were on me,
right,
which
yeah.
is another big reason why drums took so long. Um, then everything else was fairly straightforward, I think. Um, you know, we would go back, would take a week, listen, or at least I would. I'd listen to whatever we had worked on pretty obsessively um, throughout the week, and sometimes I'd be like, "Hey, I need you to redo this track," or
Mhm.
what have you. But everything else we did a pretty good with. Vocals took a while because Cypress went extremely hard with the vocals, and after like 2-3 takes, his voice was blown. So we would do like a song a day for a few weeks, and yeah, it took a while, but it worked out.
Yeah, no, I will say like Cypress really like he goes all in for recording. Like it was like the vocal. I mean, because like he's a machine, but like he's only
Yeah.
so far you can push a machine before it breaks down, you know. 'Cause you
He's
still
a.
want the. Oh,
I
you're
was
gonna
gonna say he's a machine, not a well-oiled machine. He's a
say?
machine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, no, and also too, because you mentioned drums, like Nellie's not here, but I gotta give her flowers. Like, such a talented drummer. Like,
Yeah,
so lucky to have her.
she's always trying to push herself in terms of what we're doing. Like, I mean, bass, me, Nelly, and Gabe, the rhythm section, and like some of the stuff we're doing, it's like, okay, like it's time to hold back a little bit. Nellie's doing her thing, and like it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Uh, especially with this new stuff that we're working on. She continues to impress me every single rehearsal that we have.
That's great to hear. One, I don't really know much about Nelly. What's her background musically?
So she went to the School of Rock that I had mentioned. Kevin Cypress also went to another School of Rock.
Hmm.
So that's how we got together. But Nelly, me and her played in a few like one-off gigs. Like we weren't really a band, but like we were good enough musicians to where like we'd get offered a gig and then like we'd learn a few songs just to play the gig, and then never like that lineup would never play again. And for a while, Nelly was like my go-to drummer for that. Um, and then we went to high school together as well. We both graduated and kind of went our separate ways. She was in a band down in like the South Shore, South Coast area, I believe, where she went to college, called Strawberry Jam, which was like a rock cover band. Really cool stuff. Um, but yeah, she's awesome.
That's great to hear. Also, what is so difficult about recording drums?
So there's 4 mics rather than just two inputs. So there's four mics that you got to keep track of, and I'm not a very experienced engineer. We did the recording because we basically had no budget, and I wanted to experiment a little. Mostly because I wanted to experiment a little bit and see what I could do with it. Um, but there's gain staging 4 times, which is a pain. And honestly, I still didn't really get it right in the end process, which it came out okay. But the drums, I do wish were recorded a little bit better. If anything, we maybe could have brought in another person to do maybe just that. But I'm happy we did it the way that we did.
Do you think that you're a good like band leader to work for?
It depends on the day. Sometimes I think I'm a massive tool. And I feel like a dick, and I'll send them a text for the morning after practice. Sorry for being a dick. But I think I'm pretty reasonable. I'd rather ask them what they think
Yeah.
and kind
Yeah,
of.
that was gonna be my next question. So,
What do you
like,
think, Aidan?
hey, if you can be like, you can be messy here. They're like, I will. I have no need to defend Adam.
Yeah, what do you think, Aidan?
He's known as the fearless leader, is the actual title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, you're chill, dude. I mean, you're doing your thing. You lead the band. I feel like I was gonna say, I feel like during the recording process, you probably had the hardest job because it was like you were like trying to get shit done, like recording stuff. There were a couple times I remember where we were just sitting about, like just drinking a little too much and just like trying not to continue making jokes and laughing. And you just kind of had that look on your face like a teacher, just looking at the children like, "Are you done?"
Yeah. No, I remember there was a really long, I remember specifically there was one time where also I totally felt Adam on this. So I was like, but it was so hard to not be like a child because we were like, I think we specifically we had a really long discussion about circumcision. And
Okay, wonderful start.
yeah, and we were going on about it, and Adam was like, "Are we good? Are we done?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." Yeah. No,
And then it would hit record, and then everyone would just start laughing, so that track would be gone. It was just an endless
Yeah.
cycle.
yeah.
No, I thought the end of that story was gonna be you're talking about circumcision. Adam's like, cut.
Totally. No, there must have been a joke like that thrown in there. There's got to be. That's too good. Um, yeah, I mean, as far as a band leader, Adam, no, I got a lot of respect for Adam. I mean, one for putting this all together, making it happen. I mean, like, Impetigore wouldn't be Impetigore without Adam, like, truly. I mean, without any of the members, of course, but, um, no, Adam's always boots on the ground, like finding opportunities for us, getting stuff done, or like whether that's ordering like merch like stickers, or if that's like getting us the next gig, or whether that's like getting us here on this podcast. Like it's like Adam's always like doing the most to like get shit done for the band and like I was gonna say, and if that means that we have to cut some of our joking short during tracking, then I can live with that for sure.
For
Okay,
the record, Gabe takes care of the t-shirts.
That's true. That is
nice.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a short EP, 3 songs. I want all of you to say what your favorite song on the EP is and why it means a lot to you.
Awesome. You want to go first, Adam?
Yeah, for me, probably Human Animal. That's the first song that I wrote. I wrote it before Impetigore. I wrote it maybe like a month or two after seeing the movie Impetigore. I had just, like over the years, you get in a room with people and you jam with them and you really hope that it's going to work out and become a band, and it doesn't work out for various circumstances because people are people. And then on the other side, I was listening to a lot of Godflesh, just so much Godflesh at that point. And I really wanted to write something similar to that. Um, it's a song that I really set out basically everything I wanted to do with it. And that's not to say I like the same thing for the other two songs, but the writing process for the other two songs was a lot more collaborative, which I love. I mean, there's a reason why we're going with that method going forward. But Human Animal was really like, once that song was written, I knew that the rest of this band would be possible. And I think that's why that song at the end of the day is most important to me and my personal favorite.
Totally. Yeah, and I feel like for me, my personal favorite, I think the one that means most to me and like like sticks out to me a lot is Virtue. Mainly because that was actually like the first Impetigore song. Because like when I came on, these guys already had stuff written. So like I was like jumping in, learning it, and like using that, using what I learned for like rehearsals and stuff like that. Like or for like as like an audition to be like, can I join your band, please? You know. So like that, I remember after that first practice, Aidan was like super helpful and like sending me like tabs for the riffs and stuff like that, and like sending me like a scratch recording and everything for me to practice along to. And like I remember spending so much time, not because it's like a particular, I mean, like it's, it has its moments, but it's not like a crazy hard song, but it was the one that I put the most effort into learning like off the rip because it was fun to play. It was really, it's a really fun song to play.
Yeah,
And
it's really
like,
funky.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like because I was like, I got to prove to these guys that I got the chops to keep up with them, and like I can play in this band. So like I remember just sitting there and playing that song over and over again, and it's just so drilled into my head now. And like I don't know, it's just whenever I put it on, I get good memories of like when I first like joined the band and like was like ripping that like literally every night just to make sure that I remembered all the little bits and pieces, you know.
I think you did great with it, Gabe.
Thank
Um,
you.
I
Yeah, yeah, you got the job, by the way.
Thank you.
officially in Impetigore, so
Yeah.
congrats. I'd probably go with body horror, just because I think that was the first song that I played with y'all, like when it was just you when you were going to meet up Adam with Nelly to see about her being in the band, and I was like just like coming along just to hang out.
Yeah, I had started it with someone and like it just didn't work out at all with that person, and I kind of like out of desperation asked Aidan like as a friend, can you just sit in because Aidan is just about the best musician I know and has an ear like a motherfucker. Pick up things like that. So I asked Aidan to sit in. Aidan sat in, and then he kind of never got up from that seat. But sorry, Aidan, continue.
Oh, you're cool. Yeah, I think we did like some of the writing for the song that day because I think you like
Yeah.
I remember it like you had like the main riff and you had the like cigar box guitar part there. And I think we worked on stuff like during the verses, like where I'm hitting the harmonics and stuff, and Nellie's doing like the like she's hitting like the emphasis on those beats. And it's
Yeah.
also just it's like the tune that I feel like it really like captures like all of us like at our best, like from like the vocals and like the different like the hardcore vocals and the like crust vocals in it. Gabe's like really holding it down like in the rhythm section there. Um, and like every time we play it, like even during practice, like Nellie's doing like different fills and whatnot, which is really cool. Um, I get to do like a lot of just like little embellishments and stuff throughout the different sections, which I find fun. And I mean, obviously the bass is like real thumping and just dirty. So overall, I think it's like probably a good, and there's a lot of parts in it too, so it's fun.
Yeah.
It was also probably the
It
most
keeps Aidan stimulated.
just stimulated, and it was also a pain to record that. I remember just like the beginning part, the cigar box guitar part, because like we had to use like a tiny ass mic for it, and like I had to hold the instrument completely still, otherwise like you could hear the sound moving around
Hmm.
like with the mic. And it's just like it's an awkward teeny low instrument. It's hard to like not move it around. But yeah, overall that's probably my favorite.
I was gonna ask, what is a cigar box guitar? Oh, he's holding
Right
it
here.
up.
Yep. There it
For
is. It's in a different tuning
pure
now, but
for pure audio listeners, this is literally a small guitar with a little rectangular body. Four strings or
yep.
three? I'm trying to
Three
count.
strings.
Yeah,
Three
we don't
strings.
have
No.
yeah, we don't have like the best video quality for anyone, myself included here, so I do have to ask those things. Um,
Literally.
so what kind of like if someone was listening for the cigar box guitar in the EP, what kind of sound does it make?
Uh, you'll hear it. Believe me, it's
Okay.
right at the beginning. It's right at the beginning of Body Horror. It's the only thing happening. It's very jangly and
Okay, so
kind of
that's what it is then.
dainty sounding.
Yeah,
I
I'd
never,
say
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't,
yeah, yeah.
I looked at the credits like well after listening to the EP and then just didn't think, oh yeah, that's what the cigar box guitar is.
yeah, it's very twangy. It kind of reminds you of
Yeah,
like a little bit of like a banjo. It's very folksy, which I
Yeah.
feel
yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
fits with like Cypress's like narration at the beginning. It's
Hmm.
like because I believe Cypress, if I remember correctly, recorded that while he was in France, right?
yeah, yeah. I totally like. I was a bit of a dictator in that moment where it's like, I'm sorry, I know you're on vacation. I need you to send me this voicemail, because we just wanted the EP out, and he did, and I think it came out better than it would have out if I recorded it, because you got the cars going in the background and everything. You might
Uh,
hear like a horn honk or something. Um, yeah, I'm really happy with
There's
that.
some art to that. Like one of my favorite facts about a metal album, it's about one of the early Bathory albums where you can hear someone's lawnmower in the background, like the neighbor is mowing their lawn, and they not do another take.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a huge Bad Brains fan, and like HR recording Sacred Love over the prison phone because they wanted to get the album done. Um, that's one of my favorite stories in rock history. So as a Bad Brains fan, it was kind of cool to do something a little similar.
well, there's a Black MIDI song. I think it's John 50, where when they were recording it in the studio, there was a helicopter that was like overhead, like on like over the going over the studio, and it created like a low like rumbling song that like
That's
the mic.
actually so I love Black MIDI. I
Yeah.
never thought I'd hear them come up in this podcast.
Oh, they're
And like
freaking.
I've always loved that sound in that song.
I
And
guess that.
I just thought it was like a bass effect and went about my day.
Yeah. Well, I think they even like credited like just like on that song like in the liner notes of the album it's like like guitar, bass, drums, helicopter pilot with helicopter.
I need to check that. Because like I love Black MIDI. No, I've never looked at their liner notes. I'm not doing I'm not doing that. One is I know that Aidan mentioned him and Cypress being environmentalists, and it made me think like it's not a common it's not like a common thing I hear discussed in metal. Like I know a lot of metal musicians who probably do care about the environment, but it's not their top concern, and they wouldn't identify as environmentalists. And there's something about it that always seems a bit more hardcore coded. What it I know that Cypress isn't here, but for Aiden, what is the most pressing environmental issue right now, in your opinion?
I mean, well, I don't consider myself an environmentalist personally. I'd probably get labeled as that, but I care about stuff like this because I'm always in the woods and I do like volunteer farming at a CSA. Um, Probably like I think it's habitat encroachment because that just works a lot quicker than climate change does. Climate change definitely is, but I mean, just not knowing when to say when with like tearing areas down,
Hmm.
leaving enough for biodiversity to flourish and keep like ecosystems moving and doing their thing. So I think with some of the stuff we have now, where we have some lyrics like just on the back burner that are like dealing with um topics like that. Like I know Adam wrote some and I wrote some. We try to make like a more of an effort of like a constant thing for when we're playing shows to like include that with like through literature and ways that you could just help do small things like like just add some fucking native plants to whatever small plot of land your urban apartment allows you.
Hmm.
Most people don't even have that option. I know like the first show that we played, we added like I got like seed packets of like some two species of milkweed that are endangered in Massachusetts that like have like more specific like growing requirements and habitat requirements that are like basically like gone from this state. And so just little things like that, trying to encourage people to, add it back into like if not your yard, just fucking throw some in some, patch by like, where there's a fence where someone can't mow it.
Yeah, and like I think I can understand focusing on that because it's something that feels very plausible for a normal person to do. Like theoretically a lot of us can plant native plants and at least like locally there are avenues for protecting habitats. And like even if it is just a small patch of woods in Massachusetts, like it matters a little. And with climate change, it's just like we unfortunately do need 8 billion people to agree.
Right. Yeah, and like the top people, like the top, like the and like a certain like sect of people to care that really is in their best interest not to care, like
Yeah.
billionaires and corporations and stuff like that too, you know?
To it. So that'd be a great thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so for a later question for everyone, um, recommend a local band that you don't think my podcast listeners would necessarily know about.
Does it have to be a heavy one? Or
I don't care.
I'm gonna go right off the bat and say Deranged Youth.
Hmm.
They have been kicking for they played RPM Fest last year, so a lot of people know about them through that. But like they've been kicking for well over a decade at this point, and I I don't know how they're not bigger. Just like they're incredible. That no one's playing music like them. Even like they're they're just so cool.
there there's not many punk bands that use like 8-string guitars and like odd time signatures.
And
Like
a theremin.
Theremin.
when we saw them, they had like 1.5 drum sets where like in between, like at a certain point in the song, like I can't remember if it was Spencer, but I think it was Spencer. He'd like stopped playing his guitar and he like just started doing the toms because they just had like a tom rack on top of like a regular drum set, and he just started doing a do that that do that do that to get that do that like in the middle of a song. They covered a Phantom Us song. That was really dope.
Yeah, like they're very Mike Patton influenced
Mm.
without ripping off Mike Patton, which is such a hard task to undertake. And they're just great.
It
Check
is
them out.
really dope.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's hard for me because it depends on what you consider local. Because, like, to me, like Massachusetts, I consider local. So,
Yeah.
like,
I would say New England.
New England, okay, yeah, because honestly, because I actually, one of my favorite current local bands is actually, unfortunately, a band that you have already had on here, Gloomlurker.
Oh,
Oh my God. Nice.
yeah. They're,
I just saw Jess yesterday as of
oh, no
recording
way.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
ran into her at a show, which I guess I tend to do. I see a lot of doom metal.
yeah,
That's where she
totally,
tends to be.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I fucking
Um,
love Gloom Lurker. I
oh,
sing
they're
their
so
They're,
praises
good.
to everyone who's willing to
they're,
listen.
they're going to do big things.
Yeah,
They're,
I'm so excited for like what's cooking for Gloom Lurker. Not to
yeah.
hijack this conversation to talk up one of
No,
my
let's talk
friends and
about
guests.
Gloom Lurker.
Yeah,
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 let's talk about Gloom
one, play
Lurker.
a fucking show with them. I think I think
We
you'd be a
did.
good. You
We
did.
did.
Okay.
yeah. That was our first show.
I missed the flyer entirely. I've seen Gloom
No, you're
Lurker
good.
at in
Yeah.
But
quite a few places.
but you know what? Would be more than happy to play a show with them again.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
do it
yeah.
again. Like there's nothing stopping you.
No, yeah. I mean, they're super nice people, super talented musicians. I'd be happy to. But since your listeners probably already know about Gloomlurker, I was gonna say as well. I don't know if they're in a similar orbit, but Rosaria.
Oh,
Um,
I love Rosaria.
yeah,
And like there's such a nice group of people too.
totally.
They're
Yeah,
sweethearts.
yeah, they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then for my less local answers, they're both from Massachusetts, but Deathless Forever, one of the best live shows I have ever seen.
Same.
Like-
So, did you see them back in January at the First Church in Cambridge?
Yes.
That
Yeah,
was
fuck lutes.
Fuck
Fuck
That
lutes.
was fucked up. I felt
I know.
my
yes.
my boyfriend at the time. I didn't know if he'd be into Deathless Forever because they're a weird band.
Yeah.
And he likes some weird stuff, but he's like fuck the lutes. They're doing something interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoever scheduled a lute concert right in like the next room to a band called who was headlining the show called Crippling Alcoholism. You gotta reprioritize.
I remember Adam, when you and I went into that place, we went in through the main entrance of the church, and I remember you went up to the lady there and said like, "Hello, we're here for the Crippling Alcoholism show," and she looked very disappointed that we weren't there for mass, and she was like, "You're gonna have to go in through like the other door, like the entrance you want is over there."
Yeah.
I feel like
Great show.
both of the
It was a great show. It was memorable,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
at least they got to finish their set.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like both of the recommendations I wanted to give, Gabe already said.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, because Riseria, they're so freaking cool. They're great people, and their music is just like I don't really listen to black metal, but just like I like the stuff that's like black metal-y that has like outside influence, and they really just hit the nail on the head there. I feel like I feel like people probably already know Crippling Alcoholism, so that's probably not
Yeah,
the best.
I want to get him on the podcast.
So,
Oh my
like,
gosh, yeah.
fairly adjacent, I guess. I found out about this band from. Is it in New England? No, I think it was Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania's fine. Well, it's northeast. We'll count that.
They're in this part of the country, continent. There's a band called My Wife's an Angel. I don't know a lot about them, but they released this album called Keep Honking, I'm About to Fucking Kill Myself. And I just keep listening to it because it's hilarious. It's like, but the music is also really good. It's almost like free, jazzy, noisy in some ways. It's very noisy. It's almost like a little chat pile-y with just how like mundane the vocals are. Like it sounds like a bunch of dude bros having like drunken conversations trying to convince each other that they're not gay. It's really hilarious, but also just like noisy, hard-hitting, heavy stuff. So they're pretty cool.
I feel like we could go for ages talking
Yeah.
about bands.
Do you get compared to Chat Pile a lot? Because I didn't want to bring it up if you were like really tired of that.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if we've gotten that, but if
I don't think
if you're
so,
saying
but
that,
yeah.
I'll take it.
So I'm saying that because Chat Pile is also a sludgy noise rock band. I guess more noise rock than sludge, and you guys are like on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And they fucking love Godflesh. You
Yeah,
can immediately
true.
tell.
Yeah. I mean, we're all big Chat Pile fans, so I feel like it's inevitable that it's going to carry over. I'm personally quite flattered that you compared us to Chat Pile right now, but I don't think anyone else has said it yet. Maybe they've said it at shows, just not to us.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming on. You were delightful to talk to.
Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Well, yes.
Yeah, much more delightful than your music. It's not fun music.
No, it's serious dark music.
Yeah.
Yeah, evil
Yeah,
darkness.
actually, no, this is how I'm going to describe it to everyone. It's not fun.
Yeah.
No happy music.
Yeah.
To steal from another band I'm friends with.
Yeah, no, Glacier. They're
Yes.
we practice basically right below them.
that actually sounds bananas because they
Yeah,
are very
no,
loud.
They
loud
are
when they
very
practice?
loud. Sometimes we go and hang out outside of their rehearsal room just so we can listen to them. Um, and then it's very, very loud, and you can hear just about everything clearly. You can't really hear anything in the room. The spaces do a pretty decent job of getting out like outside noise. Like we'll hear the bands next to us and everything, but other than that, it's not too bad. But like they're awesome and just really, really cool people. I don't know them well, but they're whenever we run into them, they're super cool.
Yeah, I do know them well, and they're also delightful.
Yay! Awesome to hear.
I took my dad to see them live, and he's like, "That's the loudest band I've ever seen." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe top 10."
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, they're just awesome.
Yeah. He likes the music though.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That's what counts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I assume that everyone wants dinner or bedtime.